Hi friends, I'm very happy to stand before you for today's class. I hope that you all are keeping fine. I'm also fine by the grace of our God. And today we are going to discuss about the same lesson, that means sources lesson 2 and physical features of India and part 3. Listen carefully. And lesson 2, physical features of India, part 3. Two episodes, 2 parts, we already completed. This is a vast lesson. Therefore, within 1 or 2 class, we are unable to complete. We can complete it, but if I complete like that, you may not get the clear picture about this lesson, understanding about the lesson. That purposely, I decided that as this is a 4 or 5 or 6 episode, I will complete this lesson, and you will get the clear understanding about the physical features of India. So, now I request you to turn your attention towards me for the classes, and you have to open your textbook and page number. We are going to discuss Peninsular Plateau, page number and 12 from the textbook Geography, class 9. Okay, class 9, and you listen carefully, and we can learn together. So, now we are going to deal with the physical features of India. Physical features of India. That's physical features of India. Main topic today, the Peninsular Plateau. Okay. So, Peninsular Plateau. That's one of the early features of India, and we have discussed maybe just like 2 topics. The Himalayan mountains we completed, and the 3 ranges, and the northern plains. That also we completed last second episode. Now the third one is called the Peninsular Plateau. So now I would like to say the locations of the Peninsular Plateau in India, and what are the subtitles are there will come under the Peninsular Plateau. That also I would like to explain right now, and we can learn together. So the Peninsular Plateau, we can understand that it is a tableland composed of all crystallic, igneous and metamorphic rock. Okay, the Peninsular Plateau, we are able to found different type of rocks are there. That is a crystallic, otherwise igneous and metamorphic rocks are there. Mainly, we can see the Peninsular Plateau in the Peninsular Plateau. Now, another thing that it was formed due to the breaking of the drifting of the Gondwana land. And class 6, you learned about the Gondwana, a mass of a piece of land, and very big piece of land that's called Gondwana land. Maybe that's earlier. And because of the drifting and the breaking of this Gondwana land, and that even the Peninsular Plateau also formed. And when we are going through, we can understand that this places has been broad and shallow valleys and rounded hills are there. When we are seeing about the Peninsular Plateau, we can understand that it's a broad and shallow valleys are there. Shallow means it is not much deep. Shallow valleys also there. Around the hills also available in the Peninsular Plateau. Okay, I hope that you understand about the maybe little picture about the Peninsular Plateau. That's just like a tableland and composed of the crystallic, igneous and the metamorphic rocks are there available in the Peninsular Plateau, and it's formed because of the breaking of the drifting of the Gondwana land. And this places has broad shallows. Maybe when we are going through this Peninsular Plateaus, we can understand that there are enough shallow valleys are there. Valley, we understand mountain slopes, and that's called valleys. Valleys are there, and also rounded hills are there in the Peninsular Plateau. These are the brief understanding about that, and we are going to learn little bit deeply for the coming paragraph. And this plateau consists of 2 broad divisions are there. This Peninsular Plateau having 2 broad divisions are there, and first one is called the Central Highland. Okay, the Peninsular Plateau, 2 divisions. And first one is called Okay. This peninsular plateau having two broad divisions are there, and first division that's called the Central Highland. And we are going to learn about the Central Highland. What do you mean by Central Highland and where it is located, about the information I am giving right now. The Central Highlands are maybe the Winton Range and bordered by the Satpura and the south and the Aravallis on the northwest, and the further westward an extension gradually merges with the sandy and rocky deserts of Rajasthan. Okay, and where this Central Highland located, about that I am saying, and the location of the Central Highland, I am giving the information like that. The Winton Range of bounded by the Satpura. Okay, and here in textbook you can understand that maybe these are the area. Okay, these areas. Okay, can you see clearly? These areas we can understand the, and while we are learning the location of this Central Highland and also the Deccan Plateau, you go through the map which is given in the textbook and find out the places which I mentioned, because if I am showing the picture, you are unable to get the clear picture. So while you are learning, and after that, so go through the map which is given there, and where's the location of the Central Highlands, you have to understand, you have to identify from the textbook itself. Okay, and here mentioned that it's maybe the location is the Winton Range and bounded by the Satpura. On the south, the southern part we are going, that's the Satpura, and also and Aravallis are there, and northwest we can see that, and the further westward extension, and the westward, when we are going through the westwards of the Central Highland, and we can understand that gradually merges with the sandy and rocky deserts of Rajasthan. That means westwards we can understand that Rajasthan is there. Rajasthan, the states of Rajasthan, you understand. So western side, westwards, that merges in the Rajasthan, hill areas of the Rajasthan, we can understand that. This is the maybe the location of the Central Highlands. Okay, we are learning about two broad divisions of the Peninsular Plateau, and first broad division is called the Central Highland. That's location I already said, and you also read carefully from the test, you will get a clear picture. And also, namely the Chambal, and also the Sindh, the Betwa, and the Khan is from southwest to the northeast. You know that there are so many round hills are available. I already informed you there are so many round hills are available in this Peninsular Plateau, and even Central Highland also we can see the round hills are there. So here mentioned that Chambal is there, the Sindh, the Betwa, and the Khan is formed southwest to northeast. Southwest of the maybe the Central Highland, others the Peninsular Plateau. From there towards the east, these are the round hills are we can see in the Central Highlands. Okay, and now again we can understand that the Central Highlands are wider in the west but narrower in the east. You know that while we are learning about the Central Highland, we can understand that maybe it is mentioned that maybe the western side is wider than the eastern side. Eastern side just like the narrower, but when we are going towards the western side, that's wider in the Central Highland, that's wider in the western side, and when we are going towards the eastern side of the Central Highland, that is just like a narrower. Okay, and that is not too big. Okay, not too much broad. Okay, that's the understanding we are getting. Now, the eastward extension of the plateaus are locally known as the Bundelkhand and Bagalkhand. Okay, so here mentioned that the eastward extensions, eastern side extensions are there, the mountains, the round hill extensions are there. That is mainly called Bundelkhand and also Bagalkhand. These are the two different names that's locally mentioned about these are the areas. Now, the Chota Nagpur Plateau marks the further eastward extension. And you know that Chota Nagpur Plateau, you can understand that in textbook is very clearly mentioned that Chota Nagpur Plateau. So you see, this is the Chota Nagpur Plateau. You go through these books. Here very clearly mentioned that Chota Nagpur Plateau. Okay, so that from that Chota Nagpur Plateau also we can see the extension of this Central Highlands. Okay, and I hope that you understand about the Central Highland and its location in India, and also we understand the maybe the roads or wider and the narrower of the sides, even it is going towards the eastern side, narrower is there. When coming towards the western side, maybe the central, maybe the highland is maybe broader than the eastern side. That is very clear. Now, we are going to understand about the central, second one, maybe the B part of this. And first one is the central highland, second one is the Deccan Plateau. Okay, the Peninsula Plateau, and there are two broad divisions are there. First one we understand the Central Highland, and the location also we understand. And now we have to go for the second maybe topic, the Deccan Plateau, because the Peninsula Plateau divided into two broad divisions, and the first one the Central Highland, second one the Deccan Plateau. So we have learned something about the Deccan Plateau right now. So Deccan Plateau, it's a triangular large and mass that lies to the south of the river Narmada. And the map is given there. You go to where you have to find out, locate the where is the Narmada river is there. And we can understand that this Deccan Plateau may be the south of the Narmada river. That means Narmada river may be the northern side, and Narmada southern part we can see this table land, and is the triangular land that is called the Deccan Plateau. Now, the Satpura range flanks its road based on the north, while the Mahadev, the Karimur hills and the Michael range from its eastern extension. Okay, that's mentioned very clearly in the textbook, and you can see also on the textbook. These are the extensions. These are the mountains. Okay, and the location here mentioned that the Satpura range that flanks, it's a broad based on the north while and the Mahadev, the Kaimur hills and the Michael range from its eastern extension. These are the two different mountains, other hill ranges we can see where in the eastern extension, which are the Michael ranges are there, and also maybe the Kaimur hills are there on the eastern side. That's the location of the this Deccan Plateau. Okay, now we can understand that maybe the Deccan Plateau is the higher in the west, and the slope generally towards the eastwards. Okay, that we can understand very clearly that maybe the Deccan Plateau is the highest, maybe the western side is the highest is maybe big than the eastern side. And you know that automatically generally the slopes are from western side towards the eastern side. Okay, and here very clearly we are getting information that it existence of the plateau visible to the northeast and locally known as Meghalaya and Karbi and Anglo plates and Wolf and Kakar hills. These are the different hills also we are able to see. That's the extension we can see visible in the north coast and locally known as the Meghalaya. You know that this extension we can see that going towards the eastern side near the Meghalaya also we can see the extensions of the hills of this Deccan Plateau. Okay, and the prominent hills ranges of the west to the east are the Garu, the Khasi and the Jenshia hills. And in the Deccan Plateau we are able to see the mountains are there, hills are there, mainly the prominent hills ranges. Okay, so many hills are there, small so different hill ranges are there, and more than that we are giving the important mountain ranges are there. That's called Garu hills are there, Khasi are there, Jenshia hills are available in the Deccan Plateau. Okay, and maybe how many mountains are, maybe the hill ranges are there, so many are there in the ranges, but importance maybe hills information I have given right now. So this is the brief information about the maybe the two broad divisions of the Peninsula Plateau, and first one is called Central Highland. The location of soil explains, and the second one the Deccan Plateau. That location and where it is scattered here and there, and from the west to east information I have given. Where it's located that also I have given very clearly. So you go through the textbook and finally you understand which are places these are the hills are located. And mainly the Peninsula Plateau located in which part of our India. About that you get the clear information. Now from there only we are getting some more information about the while we are reading this textbook, this main topic. Then we can understand there will be two different ghats are there. Okay, two different ghats. The school, you know that. So, for example, you don't maybe enjoy the beauty of the picture, but you listen carefully to understand about the this here, and very clearly we are getting to more information about from this main topic, Western Plateau, and that's first one is called the Western Ghats. The Western Ghats. Okay, you know that India. This is the northern side. This is the southern side. This is the eastern side. This is the western side. And you know that maybe there are different Ghats, means a chain of mountains. Just like a chain of mountains, we can see that all together we have some Ghats. Okay, so here we are learning about the Western Ghats. That means this is the India, or the maybe the picture. And we can understand that this is the western side. This whole area is western. This is maybe the northern. This is eastern side. This is southern side. And from here, you know that here so many mountains. Okay, we can see towards the south. Going towards the south. And this western side. So western side maybe just like a chain of mountain going from the north towards the south. So many mountains are there. Mountain ranges are there. Around the hills are available. This is mainly called the Western Ghats. Okay, and you know that maybe so many rivers are there. Individual rivers are flowing water towards. This is the maybe Arabian Sea. You know, Arabian Sea. And in between, rivers are flowing towards the maybe Arabian Sea. That also there. So the chain of mountains from the northern maybe the western side, from the parallel moving towards the parallel, we can see as a chain from the north towards the south. This is called Western Ghats, the ranges of the mountain. Okay, in between there will be a gap. The cross is there. Maybe sometime rivers are flowing through that gaps and merge with the ocean of Arabian Sea. So this type of mountains are there, and these are the mountains are called Western Ghats. Okay, I hope that you got the information about the Western Ghats. Now we have to understand that there are few more information I am giving you. All right, now the Western Ghats are parallel to the western coast. You know that this is the western coast. Ocean coast are now. Here is oceans are there, ocean coast. So western side and maybe the chain of mountains are there. This parallel towards the eastern side, and from the top and also northern side towards the southern part as a mountain nearby the coastal. That type of maybe the mountain ranges are called Western Ghats. Now they are continuous and can be crossed to passes and by boat, par, gas. That I explained that maybe mountains are there, maybe around hill mountains are there, in between some cross passes are there. A river can flow through in between the mountains, in between the mountain ranges, around hills, there will be a slope, maybe the passes are there, water can flow through this area to oceans. Okay, so the passes will be available in between the Ghats, Western Ghats. Now, the Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. You know that. And here also chain of mountains are there, and we are going to learn about the Eastern Ghats. And Eastern Ghats are maybe having less height than the Western Ghats. And here again we are getting information. In the average elevation of 900 to 1,600 meters against the meter of the Eastern Ghats. You know that here we are getting the information that the heights of this mountain, the heights of this maybe mountain range are there 900 meter to 1,600 meter. Okay, maybe the Western Ghats are the mountain ranges, the chain of mountains are there. These mountains may be the height from the ocean level 900 meter to the 1,600 meter. That means all the mountains are there. No, in between maybe there are some hills are there. 950, maybe 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, maybe that may be differently. Okay, so that mostly we also we are saying that the Western Ghats, the hills, the heights are there from them 900 meter towards the 1,600 meter. That we are getting information about that. Now, the height of the Western Ghats, okay, progressively increases for the north to south. And one more information we are getting that. And the height of this Western Ghats and automatically increases from the north towards the east. That means maybe here maybe the mountain may be 900, for example. Here maybe the height of the mountain may be 900 meters, for example, and going towards the southern part. And here this part we can understand that maybe mountain's height may be 1,600 meter. That means 900 we started the height of the mountain, and when going towards the southern part, and when we reach the southern part, here so many mountain heights are there, rounded hills are there. These hills are higher than the maybe the beginning of this Western Ghats. That means the south is higher than the maybe northern side of the Western Ghats. Okay, that's very clear. Now the heights peaks include the Aramudi. You know that here we can see different kinds of mountains are there that in the southern part. Okay, from the Western Ghats, and when we reach the southern side, and here maybe main mountains are the Aramudi. Okay, and Aramudi. That means this mountain is maybe from southern parts. We can understand Aramudi is one of the hill stations that's so, and the height is maybe 2,695 meters. And another we can understand that Doda Beta. Doda Beta 2,637 meters from the ocean level, from the Arabian Sea. But we are calculating the height. The Doda Beta means 2,637 meters from the ocean level, and the Aramudi is the 2,695 meters from the ocean level. That's a clear understanding. Like that, so many hill stations are there in the southern part. So we learned about the Western Ghats, a chain of mountains from the northern side towards the southern part, and in between so many passes are there, and water can flow towards the maybe the Arabian Sea. There will be passes are there. Then also we are seeing the chain of the mountains are the hills are there. That from the 900 meter to 1,600 meter, the chain of mountains from the northern side towards the southern part, that we are seeing that is called Western Ghats. Okay. So many examples given there, and the mountains name also mentioned there. Anyway, you go through and understand about that. And one more important thing we have to discuss about now, the Eastern Ghats. Okay. Now we discuss about the Western Ghats. Chain of water from the north to west, the southern part, and in between passes are there through water can flow through the passes, and they can reach the Arabian Ocean. The same way we are able to see the chain of mountains from the eastern side, maybe nearby the parallel or towards the southern part, we can see in the eastern side. This is called Eastern Ghats. Okay, and this is called, we can understand, the Western Ghats. And this side, this is called Eastern. Okay, this is called Western Ghats, and this is called Eastern Ghats. And in between, maybe the passes through there, and so many mainland rivers are there. Only two of the rivers are mainland rivers are flowing towards the Arabian Sea. Rest of the almost all the maybe main drainages, even Ganga, Yamuna, these are Brahmaputra, these are the main rivers that are flowing towards the eastern side only. So maybe there are so many passes are in between, and these are the rivers automatically coming and flowing towards the eastern side and merged. And also one more important thing you have to keep in your mind, that Western Ghats, we already informed that Western Ghats the mountains are having more height than the Eastern Ghats. Okay, and you know that I already informed 900 to 1,600 meter from the ocean level. That's the Western Ghats. So you know that from here this gas will flow towards the eastern side. So automatically water may flow towards the eastern side because height is very less. That's a very clear information. Now we can will get a few more information about that. It is the stretch from the Mahanadi Valley to the Nigris in the south. You know the Mahanadi from started from Mahanadi are going towards the Nigris. Okay, the southern part. This type of maybe the mountain chain of mountains in the coastal area parallel moving towards the southern part. This is called Eastern Ghats. Now the Eastern Ghats, okay, discontinuous irregular by the rivers draining into the Bengal. That was I explained. Maybe mainland rivers, even the Ganga also there. We can understand the Ganga and the Yamuna, and also maybe the Brahmaputra. That's all coming and flowing towards the eastern side, because slopes are there for the eastern side from the hill station, and flowing towards automatically towards the eastern side and merged with the maybe Bay of Bengal. That's very clear. So many paths are there in the Eastern Ghats. Now, maybe it's a example. There are famous hill stations, Udayamangalam. You know that the Eastern Ghats we are getting information Udayamangalam, and the south and Western Ghats we got so many mountains are the hill stations are there. And what is the 2,695 meters from the ocean level, and so Dodapeta is the 2,637 meters from there. That's very clear. But we are going towards the with Eastern Ghats. We can understand though Udayamangalam, one of the mountains name, and also that's popular. And you know that this Udayamangalam, two different mountains also there. That's called Ooty and Kodaikanal. You know, so many thousands of lakhs of tourists are going and visiting this area. Very good climate for this area. And maybe Udayamangalam, that hill station, there will be, we can see mainly the hill stations are there, Ooty and Kodaikanal. These are the areas where you will see the Ooty and Kodaikanal. And so that's very good tourist place. And every year people are coming and enjoying. And for their own refreshment, they used to come for this hill station. So we can see even the Ooty and Kodaikanal in this area. And also common. There are some common things from this part. The Peninsular Plateaus is the black soil area known as Deccan Tract. You know that mainly these are the Ghats, Eastern Ghats or Western, whatever it may be. We are able to understand that, and these areas mainly we are getting the black soil. You know why? What's the secret for the black soil over there? Why? Because of that, these Western Ghats and also Eastern Ghats, they already formed because of volcanic eruptions. Are you following what I am saying? Because these Ghats are formed because of volcanic eruption. That purposefully we can see that the sands are there, maybe almost the black salts are available in these two different Ghats. And one more comment, that's an important thing. Because of that, they are called Deccan Tract. And mainly it's formed because of volcanic eruption. Okay, that's the main information we are getting about the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. So today we discussed the Peninsular Plateau, and Peninsular Plateau have two different broad divisions are there. First one is called the Central Highland, and the location of the Central Highland I have explained. The B point, that's called the Deccan Plateau. The Deccan Plateaus, even the location I mentioned very clear. And you know that, then again we discuss from the same topic only, that's called Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. This is called Western Ghats, and maybe 900 meters towards the 1600 meters, and maybe here Eastern Ghats are there, farther towards the south, and near the coastal areas, and so many passes is there, and so many mainland rivers are flowing towards the eastern side and merged with the Bay of Bengal. That's very clear understanding we are getting. So this is the all about the understanding of the Peninsular Plateau. I hope that you understand about the Peninsular Plateau right now. And now your turn is there. You have to read carefully again and again this test rule, especially these are the three topics we already completed. Then you will get the clear picture about this lesson. Okay. So maybe we are going to discuss the next topic. Okay. Till then, okay, I would like to say bye, and we will see you in the next class. Okay. Then thank you very much.